Hello and welcome to Healing Waters at Bethesda. My name's Michael, and I've gone through a storm of healing in one way or another. It is kind of interesting, but this is something the Lord kind of taught me through that in the process a little bit. Is first off, when I moved out of my parents' house, and it was kind of toxic, He started first dealing with my the witchcraft that was spoken over me and that was there, and a lot of that witchcraft was broken off of me. And then he started dealing with other stuff and more trauma related, some inner vows that I've made that weren't aligned with God's word. Also, some insecurities dealing with the opposite sex. But before he even could deal with a lot of that stuff, he had to get rid of the witchcraft. Because, let's face it, the witchcraft had still been there. And it was still been speaking, in a sense, those negative words that were over me. So first off, what God had to deal with was get me out of the environment. He had to deal with that witchcraft that was that was spoken over me. So that witchcraft had to be broken off of me, because then he could heal me. And the reason why that is, in that whole process of it, is that witchcraft would just, open up those old wounds that were already healed. So first off, that's the reason why he had to deal with the witchcraft, because the witchcraft would just cause those old wounds to open right back up. And oftentimes we don't think about different levels of healing and how he's got to heal us of one thing first before he can heal us of the other. And so it's kind of like, think of it this way. By getting rid of the witchcraft, you're getting rid of the weapon that's causing you the harm. All right? And so now that you've gotten rid of the weapon that's causing you the harm, now you can heal. Well, if you still have that weapon that's causing the harm, which is the witchcraft, it's not going to do you any good if you haven't broken off that witchcraft, because it's just going to keep speaking that same word, in a sense, and you're still going to be... Even though you're healed, you're not going to stay healed, because that witchcraft is going to keep bombarding you in that same area, and you're going to get weak. And so what we got to do is, once we get to that process of being healed, we got to walk out that healing process. And sometimes it's kind of tough, because, okay, I'm healed, now what? And we got to learn to walk it off. Once you get out of surgery, the hardest thing that they make you do is actually walk, isn't it? If anybody's gone through any type of surgery, they always make you walk right after the surgery, or at least a day or two after, depending on what kind of surgery you had or whatever. But that is sometimes the hardest thing to do once you've been healed, is sometimes actually walking and thinking, well, I don't feel healed because I got these stitches from the surgery. But in reality, you're in that process of learning to walk in your healing. And so oftentimes, there's that process of first getting rid of the witchcraft, then healing that area that the witchcraft was actually attacking. And then the next step is actually learning to walk in that healing, because you've been so used to that previous life that you aren't familiar with how to actually walk that out. And so I just pray that whoever listens to this and whoever hears this will learn the process of healing in their life, and that God's got to take you through several processes sometimes to heal certain areas, because there's just so much stuff going on that we don't even fully understand. And so sometimes, God's got to heal us in a certain order, and we're not always aware of that order of how he's got to heal us. And so just follow the direction of the Lord and how he's going to heal you.